Hey guys, what's up? Madseason here, and welcome back to my Big Gold Guide. This is a series that focuses on having a lot of characters to make gold. This is the 6th video in the series, and for now it's going to be the last one. In the first 5 parts we went over many different ways you can use your alts to their full potential to earn gold, and in this part we'll be going over how to invest your gold to protect yourself from inflation. This isn't necessarily a guide on how to resell items for a profit. You may remember that in part 1 I talked about this a little bit, but the basic idea is as time goes on, more and more gold will be put into the economy. This causes the actual value of gold to decrease as time goes on. To combat this, you may choose to invest your gold into expensive items. As the actual value of gold decreases, the selling price of these items will increase, so your actual wealth in the game will stay relatively the same, more or less. In this video, I'll share some of my research and list some items that I personally chose to invest my gold into. First and foremost, I want to say that nothing is ever 100%. Investing your gold is a big risk in and of itself. In this video, I'll be presenting some research and information for you. At the end of the day, what you choose to do with this information will be your responsibility, however. I really want to emphasize this because I would feel bad if someone out there blindly followed this video and ended up losing a ton of gold. The biggest piece of advice I can give is to never put all of your eggs into one basket, so to speak, and I'll explain why later. A lot of this information will change depending on what server you're on, so make sure you keep that in mind moving forward. I'm sure a lot of this information will also become outdated. I'll try to keep it updated with annotations as best I can, but just something to keep in mind. Now that I have all of the disclaimers out of the way, let's get into the actual meat of the guide. There are many items you can invest your gold into. The most common one people will mention are the trading card game items, or TCG loot for short. These are mounts and pets that you used to be able to get from the World of Warcraft trading card game, which is now discontinued. Because of this, these items command a high price on the auction house, and theoretically they should only raise in value as time goes on because no more of these items are being produced, which is what makes them an appealing choice to invest your gold into. But as I said, that's theoretical. These items actually saw some heavy duping during the Warlords of Draenor expansion. Let's take a look at some stats, specifically the Swift Spectral Tiger, which is sort of the holy grail of the TCG items. As you can see here, this graph shows you exactly when these mounts were being duped. The red line is the quantity available, and the blue line is the average auction price across all US servers. Up until the middle of January, things were relatively normal. The total number of Spectral Tigers hangs around 50, but suddenly, as you can see here, by the end of January they've quadrupled in quantity. That's just too much of an increase in supply considering that supposedly no more codes for these items are being generated. And this is true for all TCG items. Here's some data on the Magic Rooster Egg, which is another pretty popular TCG mount. These dupes seem to pop up every now and then. You can sort of see the trend in this graph. The reason I bring all of this up is to emphasize once again that nothing is 100%. The prices on these items have rebounded a bit, but it's important to keep in mind that no matter how safe you think you are in investing all of your gold, something like this could happen at any time. That's why I said never to put all of your eggs into one basket, because this isn't even bringing Blizzard into the equation. Who knows, maybe to combat the duping of these TCG items, they'll decide to make everything soulbound. The point is, while TCG items are a good choice, they're not the only choice, so make sure you spread it around a bit. As for other items, in general, there are going to be items that are no longer obtainable. Things like the Haunted Memento and the Hate Spark the Tiny Pet are good for long-term investments. Some other ones that come to mind are the Eye of Shadow, the Gift of Arthas recipe, and the Robes of Arcana recipe. Other things like holiday mounts or toys, such as the Minion of Grumpus mount from the Christmas event, or the Coin of Many Faces from the Halloween event, are good for more of a short-term investment. One thing to note is that anything that has to do with transmogging is a little iffy due to the new wardrobe system that's coming out in Legion. I'd say wait until that comes out to see how it affects the market. But some good choices for this are the Black and Defias belt, all of the old Bind and Equip Tier 1 dungeon pieces, and the first Mage hat, to name just a few. Another thing I'll say is that before you invest anything, for all of you who want to pay for your account by spending gold, those game time tokens are going to be the best way to spend it. You can buy a maximum of 36 of these every 24 months. These will steadily rise in price as time goes on, so I'd recommend capping them out as soon as possible. This really isn't investing in the sense that you can sell these later for more gold, but it'll end up saving you gold in the long run because you're going to be eventually buying them anyways. And I guess that's all I have to say. There's really not much to it. Like I said, if you're going to take anything away from this guide, it's to spread out your investments. Maybe 1 or 2 of each TCG pet and mount, a couple of Hate Sparks, a couple of Mementos, and so on. Just make sure you do some heavy research into whatever you're going to buy so you don't end up getting burned. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments. This officially marks the end of my Big Gold Guide series, at least for now. In total, the series ran for around 60 minutes. We went over garrison missions, garrison buildings, professions and crafting. We visited some old vanilla raids, some cataclysm raids, and even an outside raid boss. I'd like to thank everyone for sticking with me throughout this series. It's been a blast to make, and I hope each one of those 60 minutes was interesting, entertaining, or at least informative in some way. I've gotten a lot of good feedback on this series that has helped me become a better editor and a better YouTuber in general. I just want to let you all know that all the feedback you guys have given me, both positive and negative, is really appreciated, and I've taken it all to heart. So let's move into Legion with a little more gold in our pockets, and as always, thanks for watching, good luck, and peace!